Imagine a world where your career path is meticulously paved, where every promotion brings more power, more prestige, and a higher salary. But what if the true cost of climbing that ladder is far greater than any financial reward? This is the story of a journey through the elite ranks of a global consulting firm, revealing the unseen sacrifices and the surprising alternative paths to power. 4 months of intense case preparation. Only 1 in 100 applicants receives an offer. You are the one. By 28, you are in the room, advising executives who lead the biggest companies in the world. By 30, your team generates $400,000 in revenue each week. None of that prepares you for what comes next. The name on your business card opens every door you ever wanted to enter. The Sunday flight, however, opens something else entirely. 6 months in, the business class seat stops feeling like a reward. 12 months in, you stop explaining what you do to people who ask. The further you climb, the more the job and the person doing it begin to diverge. What nobody tells you before you sign is what each level actually costs to reach. Level 1, the summer intern. You are 21 years old. For 10 weeks, the firm flies you in, puts you in a midtown hotel your first weekend, and pays for everything before you have produced anything. This is the first signal about how this industry works. Clients pay, and expenses disappear into client codes before they feel real. You will learn to think this way. You are placed on a live engagement immediately. No fake projects, no simulation exercises designed to make you feel useful. A pharmaceutical company is rethinking its go-to-market strategy across 4 European markets. Your team has 3 consultants, an engagement manager, and a partner who appears on Tuesdays and Fridays for a total of approximately 6 hours each week. You build a market sizing analysis for Germany. You build the supporting slides. The engagement manager reviews them at 11 p.m., sending them back with 11 comments. You fix 11 things, and by Thursday, one of your slides makes it into the client presentation. The partner does not mention your name. The slide is yours anyway. You earn $32,000 over those 10 weeks. The work runs 60 hours a week. The true hourly rate is a calculation you make once and then deliberately forget. At the end of week 10, a partner you have met twice calls you into a glass-walled conference room. 2 minutes. A return offer. Full-time. Starting September. Base salary of $112,000. You say, "Thank you." You go back to your hotel and call your mother. She asks if it pays well. You tell her it pays fine. You don't tell her what fine means yet. On the final Sunday, you board a plane home. Little do you know, this will become your new routine, a weekly ritual of Sunday evening departures for the foreseeable future. Level 2, the associate consultant. The offer was real. The summer was not. You are 22 years old. Your base salary is $112,000. Your first year total compensation, after a $5,000 signing bonus and a performance bonus that rewards average performance at a firm that doesn't have average people, totals around $130,000. That figure looked different once you factored in the cost of rent in the city where your office is located. The Sunday flight is your life now. This isn't a metaphor. Every week, a different city, the same Marriott lobby, the same breakfast alone at 6:45 a.m. before the client day starts. 1 week it's Houston, the next Chicago, then a hotel in Atlanta on a Monday night, where you order the same salad from room service. At this hour, it's often the only thing your body can still correctly process. Thursday night is the flight home. Friday is emails and internal meetings from your own desk. The weekend passes. Sunday evening, you are back at departures. Your apartment accumulates hotel toiletries and unopened mail. Your plants died in October. You replace them with a succulent because someone told you succulents survive neglect. It thrives. You don't examine this closely. The work is frameworks. At this level, everything is reduced to a framework. The client has a problem, you build an issue tree. You decompose the problem into components that are mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. You analyze each component. You synthesize the analysis into a recommendation. You put the recommendation in a slide. The slide has a headline that states the conclusion, not the topic. The supporting points prove the headline. This is called the pyramid principle. You apply it to everything now: emails, conversations, how you explain things to your family over holidays. By the fourth month, they stop asking follow-up questions. Your friends from college text you. You respond from a gate at Houston Hobby Airport at 9:48 p.m. on a Thursday. They are at a bar. You can hear the background noise in a voice memo one of them sends. You listen to it on the plane. You are 22 years old, and you are building the most valuable professional credential that exists. You know this. It helps more than it should. At month 18, a headhunter calls your personal phone, a private equity firm, an operations role, offering a total compensation of $240,000. You do the calculations, the numbers add up. You ask for a week. You spend the week thinking about who you are without the prestigious name on your business card. The answer isn't clear. You tell the headhunter you are not ready to move. You open the deck. You start on the next slide. The next 2 years will reveal what happens to that answer when you are finally ready to make a move. Level 3. The consultant. You have an MBA now. 2 years at Wharton or Booth or HBS. $220,000 in loans. Was it worth it? The spreadsheet says yes. The spreadsheet doesn't account for the specific weight of returning to an airport on a Sunday night, feeling 30 years older than when you left, but you knew what you were buying, and you bought it deliberately. You are 27 years old. Your base salary is $192,000. A performance bonus brings your total compensation to approximately $265,000 in your first year back. The signing bonus covered 4 months of loan payments, then vanished. You don't think about the loans. You think about the work stream. You now own a work stream, a defined piece of the problem that is yours to structure, analyze, and deliver. You manage junior associates. You review their work. You send it back with comments. You hear yourself, recognizing the tone. You were in their shoes just 14 months ago. The client starts talking to you directly, not through the engagement manager. You. They call you at 11 p.m. You respond because the engagement manager is watching whether you respond, because the relationship requires it, and because, honestly, you still find the work interesting enough that you don't mind. You are the face of the firm to a senior vice president at a medical devices company paying $480,000 per week for your team's expertise. That SVP is 46. He has 20 years of industry experience. You have 4 years. He knows it. You know it. The engagement works anyway because you have structured thinking. 23 PowerPoint templates meticulously optimized for executive communication, and a way of walking into a room that the firm spent 7 weeks training into your posture during onboarding. He presents your slides to a CEO. The CEO approves the direction. No one in the room mentions the 7-year-old who painstakingly built the analysis. Exit pressure at this level is different. The headhunters aren't calling with junior private equity roles. They're calling with VP titles, strategy roles at Fortune 100 companies, total compensation ranging from $280,000 to $340,000 with real equity, genuine upside, and the promise of Tuesdays at a desk in a single city. One of your colleagues just took a chief of staff role at a Series C startup. She seems happy. You're not sure if she seems happy or if you've been in hotel rooms long enough that you've lost the baseline for comparison. You have a plan. 2 more years. Make engagement manager, then decide. Everyone at your level has that plan. Most have held this plan since the associate level. Some will still cling to it as a principal. Level 4, the engagement manager. You run the project now. The client perceives you as the firm itself. You are 30 years old. You manage a team of 5, 2 consultants, 2 junior associates, 1 analyst on loan from the data practice. Every slide, every model, every client interaction runs through you. The partner sells the work and appears at key moments. You deliver everything in between. That distinction matters inside the firm. The client doesn't see it. To the client, you are the relationship. Your base salary is $220,000. Total compensation in a strong year lands around $320,000. You have been on 51 flights in the last 11 months. You know this because your airline status tells you so. Top tier on 2 carriers. The upgrades are automatic. You stop noticing upgrades around month 6, the way you stop noticing anything that began as exceptional and became routine. The work is different now. Less analysis, more translation. You spend your day unblocking your team, reviewing work, restructuring slides that aren't landing, managing the client's anxiety when the findings aren't what they hoped, managing the partner's expectations when the timeline slips, managing the junior associate on the verge of tears in the bathroom over an 11 p.m. revision request, a sight that uncomfortably reminds you of your younger self. You are the membrane between what the data actually says and what the room is able to absorb. A CEO calls you directly on a Wednesday morning, not the partner, you. He has a question about the operating model before his board meeting on Friday. He has been the CEO of this company for 19 years, growing it from 400 employees to 11,000. Now 61 years old, he is asking you how to structure the answer for his board. You give him the answer, clearly structured, headline first. He thanks you. You hang up and sit with that for approximately 40 seconds. Then the consultant messages with a question about the assumptions in slide 14. You answer it. You move on. This is the job. A headhunter emails. VP of strategy at a consumer goods company with $9 billion in annual revenue, $390,000 total compensation. Real equity, 1 city. You read it on the Thursday red-eye flight home. You close it. You tell yourself you'll think about it after this engagement ends. The next engagement starts the Monday after this one closes. It always does. Level 5, the principal. Partnership is now within sight, and that makes everything harder. You are 34 years old, a principal, 1 level below partner on every organizational chart, and 1 decision away from the only outcome that can truly justify everything that came before. Your total compensation in a strong year lands around $450,000. The number is genuinely excellent. You stopped noticing excellent 3 levels ago. The principal role is the firm's final exam, and the exam is not about delivery. You have proven delivery. The exam is about origination, bringing in clients, fostering relationships with CEOs who call you by your first name, and trusting your insights even before the partners. The partners watch whether those calls come to you, or if they merely tolerate you as the number 2 on engagements they themselves own. You have been building 3 relationships for 16 months. Dinners in Chicago, San Francisco, and Zurich. A conference appearance you meticulously arranged because a CFO once mentioned a specific topic over coffee at a January forum. A white paper you authored on AI integration in supply chain operations, which you sent to 12 key individuals, and one of whom forwarded it to 30 others. One of those relationships becomes a $2, 6 million transformation engagement. Your name is on the proposal, on the team slide, on the appendix. The partner's name is on the cover page. You understand the logic. You are not yet a partner. The client bought the firm. You are still becoming the firm. This is the correct way to think about it. Most days you believe your time is coming. The private equity firm that called 2 years ago calls again with a different number. Head of portfolio operations, offering $600,000 in total compensation with real carry-on active deals, the kind that compounds if the portfolio performs. You ask for a week to think. You spend the week sitting with one question. Who are you without this name on your business card? The answer is still not clear. You decline. You tell yourself it wasn't the right opportunity. You've said that before. 3 times now, each offer better than the last. The answer, the same. The partnership decision is 8 months away. Level 6, the partner. You don't travel the way you used to. You are 39 years old, a partner. Your compensation is a share of the firm's profits. In a good year, $900,000. In a great year, $1. $4 million. The number varies with firm performance, with your client book, with whether the industries your clients sit in had a good year or a year where everyone paused and nobody commissioned a strategy engagement. Your relationships, however, are fixed, yours, and they are the very reason those numbers exist. You walk into a boardroom, and you are the firm. Not a representative, not an engagement manager doing the partner's bidding, but the firm itself. The CEO across the table approved this engagement because you walked in and said the right things in the right order. If you left tomorrow, that client relationship leaves with you. The firm knows this. You know this. The leverage is real and completely unusable because there is nowhere to go that means more than where you are. You've looked. You know what the options look like from the outside. You stayed. Your team delivers everything you sell. Consultants, engagement managers, principals. They take the Sunday flights you used to take. They run the decks you used to run. You spend 45 minutes on a deck someone spent 40 hours building. Your 45 minutes cost more than their 40 hours. The allocation is correct. You try to believe this consistently. Your son turned 9 on a Wednesday in April. You were in Zurich. You called at 7 a.m., his time from the hotel room. He showed you the cake on the phone screen. You told him it looked incredible. He said thanks and handed the phone to your wife. You are the firm's most valuable asset in your practice group. This asset hasn't attended a school event in 3 years, not a single one. You have photographs from the ones before that. They feel like they belong to a past version of you, one who wore the same face. Your client book generates $12 million in annual fees across 8 key relationships. You sit in pitches as the room. You sell confidence. The product is confidence. You have learned to sell confidence in situations where you privately have none. That took longer to develop than any technical skill the firm ever asked for, and the firm never asked for it directly. You learned it by watching partners above you and understanding that certainty is not a feeling. It is a performance with enough repetition behind it to become indistinguishable from the real thing. You are very good at this job. You're just not sure who you were before it, the other side. Here is what the hierarchy you just climbed does not show you. There's a woman named Aurora who works approximately 1 kilometer from one of the offices you started in. She is 38 years old. Her title is Chief Strategy Officer. Her company does $8, $4 billion in annual revenue across 32 countries. Her annual consulting budget is $260 million. She allocates that budget across McKinsey, BCG, Bain, and 14 other firms. When she decides a team isn't performing, the team gets replaced by the end of the engagement. When she decides not to renew a relationship, the relationship partner loses $7, $1 million in annual fees, and spends 3 weeks in internal reviews explaining what went wrong. She spent 2 years at McKinsey directly after undergrad, leaving at the senior associate level before the MBA cycle. The Sunday flights were real. The framework thinking was real. The exit offer from a consumer goods company was real, and she took it. She spent 7 years inside a company rather than advising one. She built an internal strategy function, growing it from 3 people to 40. She proved it. She rose. She never went back for the MBA. She didn't need to. She was being paid to make the very decisions the MBA firms were hired to recommend. Her Tuesday looks like this: 8 a.m. A McKinsey team presents the findings of a 1-4-week operating model engagement. She asks 4 questions the partner cannot fully answer in the room. She schedules a follow-up and does not smile when she does it. 9:30 a.m. A BCG principal asks for the mandate on a supply chain transformation. She says she'll consider it. She has already decided. Noon. She goes to her son's school performance, which starts at 12:15 p.m. She is there when it starts. She is home by 3 p.m. The partners whose careers took 39 years to build now find themselves in her calendar at her convenience. They take her calls on the first ring. They restructure team compositions when she requests it. They adjust proposals when she asks for a different angle. She controls the budget that determines which MBB relationships remain active and which quietly fade away without renewal. She left at year 2 with a business card that said, Senior Associate. She took the exit that every engagement manager at every MBB firm tells themselves they will eventually take once the timing is right. She took it when the timing was wrong, before the MBA, before the promotion, before anyone told her it was the right move. She built the other side of the table from scratch. The entire hierarchy you just witnessed operates entirely on her budget. The question the industry struggles to answer cleanly is whether those who stayed ultimately built more than those who left, or if they simply built something that looks more like the industry from the inside. Aurora doesn't have a strong opinion on the question. She has a board meeting in 20 minutes. She picks up her notebook and walks to the elevator without looking back at the screen.